The International Center of Shroud Studies presents Listening to the Shroud, spoken anthology of texts on the Shroud of Turin. "60 years after the foundation, Sindon was born again." From Sindon number 0, January 2020. The editorial by Gianmaria Zaccone, director of the International Center of Shroud Studies. In 1959, Sindon magazine was born. The International Center of Sindonology had been just founded, replacing the Association of Cultores Sancte Sindonis, with the desire to better define and separate the activities of the Confraternity of the Most Holy Shroud and those of the Institution of Study. Its purpose was to support and spread the work of the center. After a few years of intermission and the publication of a new series, in 2003 its publication ended definitively. After some special issues of great value, such as Shroud Past, Present and Future, containing the acts of the Historic Symposium of 2000, and a volume by Fleury Lemberg, which illustrates the progress and results of the 2002 operations for the conservation of the Shroud. One of the reasons for its end was the lack of adequate level material to ensure regular publication. Today, 60 years after its foundation, Sindon is back. The new board of the center, which took the name of International Center of Shroud Studies, had in fact among its objectives that of filling a gap in the vast but very slippery panorama of information on the Shroud. There is a need and a widespread demand for information on the Shroud expressed in a popular but scientifically correct way. Popular disclosure is often confused with the free expression of assumptions and personal reconstructions, often without any scientific or logical foundation. The bundle of information from various sources, often contradictory and inaccurate, that comes, especially through the web, is confusing and offers a puzzling panorama. On the other hand, the research and considerations published in accredited scientific journals, not so many actually, are mostly difficult to use and understand for general readers and require a proper dissemination. Sindon would like to make a contribution to the knowledge of the Shroud and aims to establish itself as a benchmark in this turbulent ocean of information. It will therefore not publish new or unpublished scientific papers, which will have to follow the usual channels to be published in accredited journals, but will take care of making these articles comprehensible and will keep readers informed of the development of research and debates on the many open questions in the multidisciplinary Shroud research. The website sindone.it will continue to collect and make available, in compliance with copyright regulations, the original texts which are commented on or will indicate the appropriate links. We are convinced that the disclosure must be based on a solid knowledge of the subject matter, and the various articles will be written first of all by members of the International Scientific Commission of the Center, each for his or her domain of competence. Articles submitted by other scholars will be reviewed, corrected or rejected by the members of the Commission competent on the subject. As well known, the Center has nominated an International Scientific Commission composed of professors and researchers from accredited institutions around the world. As already clarified several times, the orientation of the members of the Commission regarding the so-called authenticity is not homogeneous, as well as the religious belief. What they have in common is a solid and recognized scientific competence in their research domain, the interest in the shroud, and objectivity and professionalism in their approach. We do not believe in Sindonology as a science. It is a term that represents a multidisciplinary container in which scholars who apply the skills and methodologies of the usual research domain to the study of the shroud operate. There are therefore no Sindonologists, but chemists, physicists, historians, theologians, etc., who dedicate part of their studies to the shroud. For this reason, the Center has recently changed its name to avoid misunderstandings, and today it is named International Center of Shroud Studies. Finally, I thank all those who took charge of this work, and in particular the Center Board, Enrico Simonato for the selections and care of the contents, and Francesco Violi for the editorial aspect. The International Center of Shroud Studies presented Listening to the Shroud, spoken anthology of texts on the Shroud of Turin.